Knowing your value system is one of those terms that's almost lost its meaning due to overuse, and yet it has so many implications for our well-being. The more aware we are of what we value, the more aware we are of what is important to us and who it is that we want to be, the more likely we are to be able to live in alignment with it. Now, knowing your values isn't the be all and end all. I mean, there are so many facets to creating a life that is fulfilling and to enhancing our well being. However, that being said, they can be a really beneficial guideline to work with. They can be really helpful in allowing us to recognize when we are showing up in a way that we're not particularly happy with, and when we are doing things with our time that isn't really of significance, that isn't important to us. I mean, it's so vital that we look at how we spend our time each day, and not the time that we have to put in work, the time outside of that. I mean, are you doing the things that are important to you, or are you just zoning out from your life? A value system is a fantastic guide for enhancing your relationships. I mean, when we recognize how we'd like to be treated, it makes it a lot easier for us to understand that perhaps other people would like to see the same levels of compassion and understanding and recognition. And yet frequently we don't give what it is that we expect from others. So it allows us to take a step back and ask ourselves, okay, how am I actually showing up to my relationships? How engaged am I? How accessible am I? How receptive am I to that other person? And again, just a guideline to correct the way that you interact with others. Similarly, in the way that we invest our time, as I said earlier, how we spend our time is how we spend our lives. And yet we assume that time is infinite, but it is very finite. We have a limited amount of it, and we do tend to spend a lot of our time disengaged, not really present, being very caught up in unhelpful thinking patterns or behaviours that are no ways beneficial and don't contribute to our overall well-being in any way, shape or form. We are co-creators of our reality. I mean, obviously things happen in life which we have no control over, but we get to choose how we respond to them. We also get to choose the attitude that we have towards our life. We also get to choose as to whether or not we live in a place of criticism and negativity, or a place of acceptance and appreciation. Having a value system isn't about being perfect. It is about trying your best to show up to your life wholeheartedly, trying your best to live a life that is going to give you a sense of meaning, a sense of purpose, and a sense of well-being and fulfillment. It's about taking care of yourself and taking care of others and finding ways in which you contribute, as opposed to always thinking about what you can get out of life, what you can get out of other people. It's also helpful in helping us recognize a lot of the superficial things that we invest our time, money, and energy in, which really don't have that much impact on anything, and yet we become very fixated on them because of our cultural condition, or indeed the conditioning that we receive growing up. And again, it's just asking yourself, do you want to be tied into kind of a more vacuous way of living, or do you want to do something that is meaningful and live a life that is filled with intention? If you would like to become more value aligned, or even if you'd like to explore what your values consist of, get in touch with me on the website. It's fundamentals.ie.